Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of CrownTheNHL. It has been 2 weeks, 3 weeks since I did the last one. And yeah, I'm sorry, one of the weeks I had nothing to say, and last week I didn't have time, unfortunately, to do it. So, today it's all about the playoffs. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, it's what the NHL lives for now. Woo! It's been great hockey so far, and everybody living up to the expectations, and just having a blast, really, watching all these fantastic games and everything like that. I know NBA has their playoffs too, but I'm no basketball fan. It's fun to play, but I don't really enjoy watching basketball that much. So, we have come far into the first round of the playoffs, and a team has already gotten through. A sweep. The San Jose Sharks just swept the Vancouver Canucks away with a 4-0 victory. That's just, of all the game series, you would expect that one to go up to be like 4-3. I still think San Jose could have won it still because of that, but wow. I haven't been able to catch any of their games because of the time difference. It usually, well, there have been games that have been for me to watch, but I don't know. I enjoy to watch some teams more than others. Canucks and San Jose isn't really the teams I like to watch, but it's all about preference. Who do you like to watch? Apparently, Logan Couture have been the main reason why San Jose have been rocking it and being such an amazing team against the Vancouver Canucks, and it's really fun to see that Couture have to do it, because from what I can tell by the depth of and the young players in the San Jose team, they don't really have that much of talent coming up, so far as I can tell, really, that is gonna break the ranks. So San Jose really needs, I said this in the beginning of this season, I believe they need to win this cup this year or they won't be doing it for another couple of years. And maybe my predictions from the beginning of the season will turn out correct after all. I've said some other thing, but really I said I have to stick with it, even though I said other things that I believed in as well. I said San Jose Sharks winner in the finals against Ottawa Senators. An Ottawa Senators team that have a 3-1 lead against the Montreal Canadiens. And if Price doesn't get well, then that one is so done. Because Budaj is a good backup, but he isn't first goaltender, as you would say. But well, maybe he surprised everybody and just rocks everyone's world and step up and show some skills that nobody knew he had. But honestly, I would say Ottawa go through that one. They have a 3-1 lead, and they're clearly, to me, not the better team, but they have Anderson in it. And even though Price was good most of it last night, what I could tell, I watched the Pittsburgh Islanders game, so I don't know how the game was, but I mean, Anderson is playing like a goalie that can make it all the way for the Ottawa Senators to the finals and even win it. That's how good of a goalie he is this season, and I'm gonna be seriously interested in see what teams they how good it will be those games. If the guys, I'm completely messing this up. Whoever gets to meet Ottawa, it's gonna be interesting. That was what I was trying to say. I mean, forget words now and then, unfortunately. So, and I picked a bit on the Islanders-Pittsburgh series, which have turned out to be something else different. I'm so happy. I say I'm kind of an Islanders fan. I have watched that. I always wanted success for Islanders, and I really like Frans Nielsen because he grew up playing for my hometown team here in Malmö. So I all respect Frans Nielsen, and that's kind of how I started watching. I watched Frans Nielsen, and also they just had an interesting team. I like Tavares, I like the Oposo, Grabner, Molson, Bailey, Boyce. I think, and we can go over the Hamanich, the defenders, straight and straight. How straight and straight. Annoying, they had so similar names. I think and Nabokov in goal also. I think it's just a solid team, and they're playing. I think that was the worst team for the Pittsburgh to get. In my honest opinion, I think they would have won. I mean, it's like last year. I think Pittsburgh could have won it last year as well, if they didn't end up meeting Philadelphia Flyers, or they would have probably end up going all the way to the finals. I believe Pittsburgh last year, but Philadelphia Flyers that year had something over the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that's what it was. Now I don't think at all that Islanders are going to make it. I think we're probably gonna see 2 straight wins by the Pittsburgh Penguins. I hope I'm wrong, but I think 4-2 will end 4-2, because now they're probably gonna end up putting Vokoun in net, and hopefully he had got more confidence in net than Fleury, because Fleury is like, he's like, woo! I'm waving, flailing there and over there. I'm flying over there. He's making his temper got a better of him. I feel like Fleury. I mean, he's such a good goalie. When he can keep his calm and be and confidence, then that sprawling goalie makes all those sprawling saves. But yeah, he needs to step it up in the long run, because I don't. Vokoun is solid first starter goalie. That's his starter goalie, but is he cup winning goalie? That remains to be seen. And Islanders' perspective, this is just to get a routine, and all from the beginning of the season I said this is a year that the Islanders have complete potential to making the playoff, and they made it. And so I'm really looking forward to how this franchise is going to keep going. And when they move to the new Brooklyn Arena, or whatever it's called, I don't know. It's in Brooklyn, I believe. Anyway, so I'm really hoping that with that they can bring in lots more people. It's all great. Hopefully that franchise can be as good as the Rangers franchise, or even better, they can win a cup. That would so, oh my god, in a couple of years, if Islanders takes the cup again before Rangers, that would be so hilarious to me. If now we talked about Rangers, I can shoot it into that series. The Capitals leading 2-1 against Rangers, and I think it will go to 7 games. I see no reason why it shouldn't. It will be down to the wire who goes through. I can't, honestly, I have no idea. It can go. Okay, if Washington wins this next and go to 3-1, then they will win. But if they tie it up, Rangers, then I see no reason why it shouldn't be 7 games, and it could. I will say Rangers will take it in the end, because I feel like if I say Rangers, I will jinx them, and then Capitals will go through. I'm sorry, Rambo, Super Young Rambo. I don't think they will make it. If you don't know who John Rambo is, then go to John Rambo Presents. It's a great YouTube channel. So, anyways, let's move on. I think I've talked about everyone except one series in the Eastern. Yeah, right. Toronto, Boston. Okay, so Boston will win it. That's my feeling directly. I think Boston will not win 4-1, but it could be a strong possibility that would end up happening. But Boston is just a better team than Toronto. I would like to see. I'm happy that they got to the playoffs again, Toronto, but I just don't think if Bruins plays at their level, they're better than the Toronto Maple Leafs. Fair and square, I will say that, because the depth, unless Toronto can get the speed. Because I have seen amazing games from Toronto where the speed and tenacity and everything, just rocking everything at the team. So they really have to do that. They really have to use the speed of their incredibly talented players and avoid being a tough fighting game, because we all know the size of Boston Bruins. It's standard like 6'3", 6'4". I mean, you're playing against giants, for Christ's sake. Sure, he's a giant. You have to admit that. So, I don't have much more to say about that one. I only caught the first game, and Toronto wasn't really good in that, but that was because they haven't played that type of game in years. So, Western Conference, back to that one. We got Chicago against Detroit. No. I am remembering this. Chicago against Minnesota, is it? Oh my god. It's Anaheim against Detroit. Blanking on everything. So, Chicago has a 3-1 lead against Minnesota, and they will win that series. I'm just gonna go straight out and say it. So, sorry about that. Let's move onwards. Okay, so Chicago is winning that series against Minnesota, because Minnesota, their form at the end of the season didn't really work out too great for them. I think they have a team that could go far and should go far in the playoffs, but they just isn't that in form. And compared to the amazing team that Chicago has, they can't match that, unfortunately, for the Minnesota side. And I watched a couple of the games, and Minnesota have played well, but the class and the skill from Chicago is just too good. It's simple as that. And it's 2-2 between Anaheim and Detroit. I'm surprised that Detroit actually go as well as they do, but I honestly think that we're gonna see Anaheim take this in the end. That's just my feeling, but the routine of Detroit should never be underestimated, and yeah, it looks like a 7-game series. If it keeps this up, it feels like one. So I say Anaheim takes it in 4-3. But yeah, that one is hard to predict now. They have had great O2 winners from Detroit side, and now to the last series, which is 2-2 series between St. Louis Blues and LA Kings, that everyone has been talking about and saying it's amazing hockey between those guys. And I'm sad enough that I haven't been able to catch one of the games, because everyone's saying that it's amazing play, and everyone's been hyping that series up, so that will be probably a 4-3 as well. And I say St. Louis Blues just because I don't want Kings to retain. I want the new team to win, and so that's what I'm gonna say about that. I want the new team to win. Really don't care who wins. Just it's the best team that wins. Simple as that. Or the most hard-working team. That one I can accept as well, because hey, you can have all the class in the world, but the fighting spirits can always prevail. So that's been the show this week, and next week I'm gonna probably add in the final the award nominations. I will talk about that as well. On top of, probably we're gonna see more teams being all done and through to the next to the quarterfinals, I think it is. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But thanks you guys for watching. I'm Crown as usual. You can find me on Twitter, Mark Crown Story. If you don't want to type down here or direct message me on YouTube, you can write anything to me. I like to write and talk to people. It's fun. So that's been it. I'm Crown, and this has been my show. See you guys another time.